There's something about 2:03 a.m., not 2 o'clock, not 2:05. It's always 2:03. That's when Arav wakes up, or rather, that's when something else inside him does. By day, he's normal, quiet, teaches literature at a small college, lives alone, smiles when required, laughs when expected. But by night, when the world dips into silence, his reality shifts. It began 2 months ago, the waking dreams. He'd jolt upright in bed, sweat-soaked, breathing like he'd been running. A clock would always flash. 2:03 a.m. No nightmares. No memory. But a heaviness in his chest. Like grief with no name. He stopped telling people. The one time he mentioned it, a colleague joked, "Maybe you're haunted by your student loan." Arav laughed too, but something inside him didn't. It's not just sleep that's changed. It's everything. He walks past strangers, and sometimes their faces blur into someone else's. Old roads feel familiar even if he's never been there. Books he's never read fall open to pages that make him cry. And then the dreams started shaping into places. Crumbling chapel in the woods, locked door with a red thread tied to the handle. And always, a girl in a silver dress, running from something he can't see. Last night it happened again. 2:03 a.m., wide awake, heart racing. But this time, he wasn't alone. There was a sound, not in the room, in his mind. It's like wind moving through trees, whispering a name, Mira, ... He didn't know who she was, but his chest clenched as if her loss had shattered him. By morning, he found dirt under his fingernails. His window was closed, door locked, but his feet were muddy. He tries to explain it logically. Sleepwalking, hallucination, trauma. But the truth won't leave. He's not just dreaming. It's going somewhere. That evening, he drives aimlessly, trying to outrun something he can't name. And his car breaks down near the edge of a town he's never heard of. Darapur, small, forgotten, almost ghost-like. But as he steps out, the wind shifts and the air feels familiar, like a welcome or a warning. Across the street is a church, crumbling stone, ivy strangling the edges, exact image from his dreams. He stands there, frozen, and then she walks by, a silver dress, like moonlight. Eyes that stop time. She doesn't see him, just passes like a breeze. But Arav's knees buckle. He whispers without knowing why. "Mira." She pauses for a heartbeat. But then she vanishes into the crowd. Back in his room that night, he doesn't try to sleep. He waits. And at 2:03 a.m., it happens again. He isn't dreaming. He's standing outside the chapel, the air heavy, the door slightly open. His soul has left his body. It's moving on its own, toward a truth that was never finished, toward a promise that was broken long ago. This time, he walks through the door. There's a kind of silence that isn't quiet. It's heavy, like an old room holding its breath. That's what Arav feels as he steps through the chapel door. His soul untethered, his body asleep miles away in a dusty hotel room. But here, this place knows him. The wooden doors creak open without touch. The smell of burnt parchment fills the air. Dust dances in moonlight like restless spirits. He walks down the aisle, past rotting pews, toward the altar. His fingers brush the stone. And suddenly, a flash. He's no longer in the chapel. A memory explodes. He's wearing clothes from another century. There's fire, smoke, a girl crying, screaming his name. "Arian, we can't leave them." Her. Mira, not a dream, not a vision. Past life, raw and unfinished. He turns to run into the flames, but it vanishes.
Elise.
Back in the present, Arav falls to his knees. Breathing hard, shaking, he whispers into the empty church. "Who am I? Why do I remember this?" No reply, just the wind. Pushing open a small door behind the altar, he steps through. It's a hidden staircase, stone, cold, spiraling downward. As he descends, he feels time folding. Each step echoes with forgotten promises. At the bottom, a candle, flickering. Lit, though no one's been here for decades. Beside it, a diary. He opens it. It's the name on the first page. Mira Varden, 1887. He turns the pages slowly. It's her handwriting, every word bleeding emotion. Tonight, he promised he would return. They say souls wander when love dies too soon. If you ever read this, Aryan? I waited. Aryan drops the diary. His heart pounds louder than the silence. It's real. All of it. His name was Aryan. He left her. Or maybe he died trying to save her. Either way, the promise was broken. Suddenly a chill creeps up his spine. Turns and sees a figure at the top of the stairs. It's Mira. Not as a dream.
That is a girl in the present.
This Myra is from the past. From the night everything burned. She looks at him, but her eyes are filled with fear. She whispers, "You're not supposed to be here. Not yet." Candle dies. Darkness swallows him whole, and he wakes up in his bed. Clock blinking. 2:04 a.m., but the diary, still in his hands, real cold, smelling of smoke. He wasn't dreaming. His soul is traveling through time. One step closer to the truth, one step deeper into the past that never let go. The diary won't stop trembling in his hands. Arav sits frozen on his bed, staring at the burnt leather cover. His breath fogs in the warm air. It still smells like fire. Outside, dawn paints the sky gold, but inside, he's trapped in twilight. He doesn't go to work, doesn't touch his phone. He just reads. Page after page, Mira's handwriting tells a story he was part of, but never knew. We were rebels, not in battle, but in love. They warned me he was cursed, that a shadow followed his bloodline. But I loved him. Even when it started, the visions, the fire, the voices, Arav's hands tremble. He said he'd meet me at the chapel when the moon was full. He never came. I waited. Through screams, through ash, until the world went dark. He slams the diary shut, heart pounding. He has to find her. Not the shadow, not the memory. Her. But how? That night, he returns to the chapel. 2:03 a.m. His soul slips out like breath in winter. The chapel stands waiting, silent, cold, listening. But this time something has changed. He's not pulled downward, he's pulled backward. Suddenly, the wood beneath his feet feels younger. The walls are whole. Candles flicker in golden holders. The world is no longer abandoned. He's standing in the chapel before it burned. Turns, and there she is, Mira, alive, glowing, not in fear but in love. She gasps when she sees him. Aryan. The name tastes strange in his ears, but his heart knows it. He steps toward her, but she recoils. Not in hate, but in confusion. You were gone? You vanished 3 nights ago? They said you betrayed us? A crash outside, bell ringing. Footsteps. Mira grabs his hand. They're coming. We don't have much time. They run through the back, through hidden passageways beneath the church. As they descend the same spiral steps he walked alone just nights ago.
It all fits.
He was here. He lived this moment. But he never made it out. They reach the bottom, and Mira presses her hand to a stone. It slides open. A hidden chamber. Small, warm. Candles flickering even without flame. Inside, 2 symbols etched into the wall. One is hers. One his. Mira looks up at him, eyes trembling. You said we would write our names into the stone when it was over, and we were free. He stares, tears threaten to fall. Because somewhere deep inside, he remembers saying that. She pulls a blade from her pocket, not to harm. To mark, with shaking hands, she carves her symbol first, then turns to him. It's your turn, Aryan. But before he can move, a scream echoes from above. Smoke floods the corridor. The air grows heavy. Myra's eyes widen. They've set it on fire. Again, he grabs her hand. We won't run this time. She hesitates. That's all it takes. A beam collapses behind them. The doorway back is gone. Flames rise. And everything begins to fade. But before the world turns black, Mira presses something into his hand. A silver ring, inscribed with 3 words. Find me again. Arav wakes up in his bed. Gasping, crying, clock flashing. 2:04 a.m. His hand is clenched. And in it, the ring is real. He whispers. She waited. She really waited. Morning bleeds slowly into Arav's room, but he's already awake. The ring sits in his palm. Cold. Real. Heavy. Like it remembers everything he's trying to piece together. He stares at it for hours. The engraving carved inside flickers in the light. Find me again. He skips work again. The outside world feels relevant. How do you explain to someone that your soul is time traveling to fix a love story buried a century ago? You don't? You chase the truth. He heads to DeRoper's oldest records office. The building smells of dust and forgotten people, looking for something. The clerk asks, without looking up. Arav hesitates. Someone, actually, Mira Varden, lived in this town a long time ago. The clerk frowns. Varden? Varden. He disappears into a back room and returns with a box. Brittle papers, leather-bound logs, census scrolls. Arav sorts through them with shaking hands, and then he sees it. Mira Varden, born 1865, died unknown, declared missing. He digs deeper. Rayan Sen, educated rebellion sympathizer, disappeared same year. Side note, rumored secret engagement to MV. His own name, his own past, written in ink, on paper older than anyone alive. There's also a map, faded, torn, but something catches his eye. A symbol in the corner, 2 marks, interlocked, the same ones from the chapel wall. Below it, whispers of the hollow, burial ground. Arav stares at the ring again. This isn't just a love story. This is unfinished business. That night, the wind outside howls like it knows him. And at 2:03 a.m., his soul slips again. He's back, in fire, in memory. The chapel burns again, but he doesn't flinch. He rushes through collapsing doors, smoke blinding him, calling Mira. But no one answers. Not this time. Instead, he's drawn to the wall. Symbols glow faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. He presses the ring into the space between them. Stone slides open. Behind it, stairs that don't spiral down. They spiral sideways. Time warps. He's no longer in 1887. He's in the space between time. The corridor is dark, lined with mirrors. Each one flickers with moments. Mira laughing in a garden. Arian training with books and letters. Their first kiss. Their last fight. And then something else. A man in shadows. Watching. Waiting. His face is never clear. But his presence sends ice down Arav's spine. A dark soul, tied to both of them, and still alive somewhere. The final mirror shows a girl, modern day. She looks just like Mira, but this Mira is wearing jeans, a backpack, standing at a train station. It's her now. Today, and she's real. The mirror cracks. Arav gasps. Time is folding. He's being shown the way. And just before he's yanked back into his body, a whisper trails through the corridor. She's waiting again. He wakes up, ring glowing faintly. And now he knows what comes next. He must find the girl, the soul of Myra, reborn in this life. Arav couldn't sleep. Not because of nightmares, but because of her face. Mira, not the girl in the burning chapel, but the girl in the mirror, wearing modern clothes. Breathing in today's world, she's alive. Somewhere out there. He doesn't know her name, her city, nothing, but her eyes. They were hers. And souls never lie. For the first time in days, RF steps outside before midnight. The streets buzz with life, people rushing, horns screaming, but inside he feels guided. Like every breath is pulling him towards something. He boards a train. No plan, no logic, just instinct. As if his soul remembers a route his mind can't. 3 hours later, he's in a sleepy town on the edge of Heimikal. The air is cooler, the wind whispers familiar names, and they're on platform 4. He sees her. She's standing by the tea stall, laughing with a friend. Holding a book, the same face from the mirror, except she looks free, happy, unhaunted. Her voice floats through the air and it pulls something from him, a memory, a touch, a promise. He takes a slow step forward, then stops. What would he even say? I think we were in love 140 years ago, she turns. And for a second, she freezes. Their eyes lock. Time halts. And in that pause, recognition. Not logical, not conscious, soul deep. She blinks. Her smile falters. Then, she looks away, suddenly shaken. Drops her tea. Walks fast. Ara follows her through the crowd. She ducks into a bookstore, breath short. He hesitates at the door, then enters. She's there, alone now, back against a bookshelf. I don't know you, she says softly, eyes wide. But I've dreamed of you. Arav swallows. You used to call me Aryan. she gasps. He takes out the ring. This belonged to you. You gave it to me when the fire took us. Silence wraps the room. She takes a step back, shakes her head. I don't believe in all this. Past lives, fate, but your dreams, he asks gently. She doesn't answer. Instead, she pulls out a pendant from under her shirt. Inside, a sketch. The same chapel, burned, old. From a memory she shouldn't have. I drew this when I was 10, she whispers. But I've never been there. The air thickens. Time bends again. Arav says, "You're not crazy. Neither am I." He offers his hand. "Come with me. Let's find the truth." She hesitates, looks at the ring, then at his eyes. Something inside her breaks free, and she nods. Okay, one step. As they walk out of the bookstore together, the wind picks up, and somewhere in the shadows, the dark figure from the mirror watches them, silent, waiting, because not all souls want to be reunited. Some want revenge. The car ride is quiet. Arav drives. She sits beside him, staring out the window, arms folded tight like she's holding herself together. She hasn't told him her name yet, and maybe she's not ready. "Where are we going?" she finally asks. "But a place we've both seen," he says softly, "but never been. Not in this life." They arrive at the edge of the forest, where the old chapel once stood. Except now, there's nothing but ruins and wind. She steps out of the car slowly. The air shifts. Birds go silent. And she says, almost without meaning to, "This feels like the place I died." Arav walks ahead, gently brushing away the overgrown grass. There, beneath the dirt, is the stone door. The one he'd seen open during his last soul walk. She freezes. "I saw this in my dreams." He opens his palm. The ring glows faintly. As soon as he places it against the stone, the ground trembles. A low hum fills the air. The door slides open. They descend the spiral steps. Deeper, farther than Arav remembers. At the bottom, they enter the mirror corridor, the one that shows fragments of time. But this time, she sees them too. One mirror shows her, in a white dress, laughing in a field. Another shows Arav, reading a letter by candlelight. And then, a mirror flickers. A figure appears, the man in shadows. His face clearer now, older, eyes like stone. Arav steps closer. That man, he was there the night of the fire. She grips his arm. "I know that face. He's been in my nightmares for years." Mirror near the end begins to shake violently. A new memory appears. Mira tied to a post, screaming, villagers around her, torches, chanting. A voice rises. She defied the order. She brought darkness with her. Arav watches in horror. It wasn't just a fire. It was a ritual, a punishment. And he wasn't there. He never showed up. The guilt hits him like thunder. He turns away. "I promised her I'd come. I promised I'd protect her." She looks at him, confused. "You weren't him? You are, but you're not. You're Arv." He nods slowly, but the soul carries its weight. Mine's been heavy ever since. Suddenly, a mirror shatters. The corridor goes dark. A presence enters. The dark figure. But this time, not in the mirror. He's real. A voice like rust and smoke fills the air. "You dare return?" The girl steps forward. "Who are you?" He smiles. "Your karma." The walls begin to twist. The candles blow out one by one. Arav grabs her hand. "We have to get out now." The figure raises a hand. The exit slams shut. "You ran once, boy. This time you stay." "You both do," the girl screams. Arav places the ring between them. Light bursts out, blinding, pure, ancient. The figure recoils, hissing like something not human. In the next second, they're thrown back, landing outside the chapel ruins. They cough, gasping, shaken, but alive. The door beneath the earth, gone, like it never existed. She turns to Arav, eyes filled with fear. "What was that?" Looks at the ring still glowing in his hand. "Not just a past life." He looks up at her. "It's a war. Oh, and we just woke it up." They sit under the open sky, breaths still ragged, hearts pounding like war drums. The forest is eerily still, like even the wind is afraid to move. Arav finally speaks. "That wasn't a ghost." She nods, eyes wide. "It was live, real. It knew my name. He opens his palm. The ring lies cold again. No glow. No hum. It's like it's resting, recharging. But Arav knows what that light meant. It wasn't just protection. It was remembrance. I think it cursed us, Arav whispers. Back then, in that life, she turns sharply. Why? He sighs. Because we broke something sacred, something he controlled. Arav pulls out a page he photocopied from the archives. Something he'd barely paid attention to before. An old sketch. Of a secret order, men dressed in robes, guarding temples, preserving divine balance. The leader's face looks just like the man they saw. They called him the Hollow Watcher. Keeper of karmic bonds, Arav reads aloud. Anyone who defied fate, anyone who tried to rewrite their path, he marked them.
Oh much.
She whispers, we were in love. Is that a crime in his world? It was rebellion. The realization sinks in. They weren't just victims of time. They were punished, silenced, scattered into lifetimes apart. Damned. And every time they came close, fate tried to split them again. She stares at the trees. So, what do we do now? Arav turns to her. We finish the task. Whatever it was that got us cursed. She frowns, but what was it? He remembers something. Back in the chapel's underground chamber, a flickering vision, a letter, sealed, hidden, never delivered. He pulls out a notebook. In it, a dream he'd written down years ago. A dream that didn't feel like a dream. I was standing in a town square, handing a letter to someone. Then I was stabbed. She leans closer. What letter? Arav looks into her eyes. I think we were messengers. Carriers of something dangerous. Something meant to stop a war. Suddenly, her expression changes. I've seen that too. In flashes, you handed me the letter. I ran, hid it. Her voice breaks, but I never got to send it. I was caught, burned as a witch. The silence between them isn't empty. It's full of grief, of guilt, of something wholly trying to heal. Then, her phone rings. An unknown number. She answers. A voice crackles. You're looking for the letter, aren't you? She freezes. Who is this? The voice whispers. Go to Varden Mansion. The old estate outside town. There's something there waiting for you. Then the call ends. She turns to Arav. Did you hear that? He nods. Every word. They get in the car again, this time heading toward a mansion neither has ever visited in this life. But both remember, as the wheels spin over cracked roads, a storm brews above. Because truth isn't waiting patiently, it's awake and angry. Inside a dark chamber hundreds of miles away, the Watcher lights a candle, places 2 dolls beside a blackened scroll, and smiles. One step closer, little lambs. Come find your ending. The car pulls up to the gates of Arden Mansion. Rusted, ivy-covered, almost swallowed by time itself. The wind howls through broken windows. The air smells like rain and forgotten secrets. Arav steps out first, scanning the overgrown path. She's waiting for us, he says. The girl nods silently. Her grip tightens around the pendant she wears, the one she's had since childhood. Inside, the mansion creaks with every step. Portraits line the walls, all staring, all watching. One painting stops her cold. It's of a woman in 19th century attire. Soft eyes, delicate hands. It's her. It's the same face, different life. Whispers Arav reads the nameplate. Lady Mira Varden, 1862 to 1883. Suddenly the floor beneath them groans. A faint music box tune echoes from upstairs. Arav draws in a sharp breath. She wants us to remember. They follow the sound, up a staircase that moans under their weight, to a nursery frozen in time. Dusty dolls, faded curtains. And on the dresser, a sealed wooden box. She opens it with trembling fingers. Inside, a letter yellowed with age, same seal as the one in his dreams. Arav carefully opens it. To the guardians of the hidden truth. If you're reading this, the balance has broken once more. The Hollow Watcher knows. He hunts all who carry the light. Hide it. Pass it forward. Never stop the chain. He looks up. This is what they wanted us to deliver, she whispers, but we failed. No, Arav says. We just came late. Suddenly the door slams shut. The music box stops. And in the mirror behind them, the Watcher appears. Only now, he's not a vision. He steps out of the reflection. Skin like smoke, eyes like fire. Thieves of fate, he hisses. You were warned. The girl clutches the letter. Araf steps in front of her. You can't stop us now. The Watcher's grin grows, but she can. He snaps his fingers. And out of the shadows steps a third figure. A girl. Her face identical to Myra's, but colder. Empty. She wears a crimson veil and a silver chain around her neck, pulsing like it's alive. Araf gasps. That's her. The girl with him stumbles back. That's not me. The soul you left behind. Now she belongs to me. The Watcher smiles. Not anymore. She's the life you forgot. The veiled girl raises her hand. A violent force slams Araf into the wall. The letter slips from their hands, lands between them. The girl, the real Mira, screams, no. She lunges for the letter. So does the veiled soul. Their hands touch the parchment. Together. A blinding light fills the room. The floor trembles.
Ow.
Memories explode like shattered glass. Araf sees flashes of 3 lives. Mira, as a healer, as a warrior, as a prisoner, and always, always a protector of light. The veiled girl collapses. Her body writhes, and then a single tear falls from her eye. She whispers, he lied to me. The Watcher growls. Trails of black smoke rise from his chest. Is breaking, you were mine. But something shifted. The curse, the mansion shakes. Walls crack. The Watcher screams, dissolving into shadow. And all that's left is silence. The 2 girls face each other. One, born in light, the other, born in pain. But now, whole. Mira breathes deeply, looks at Araf. I remember everything now. He takes her hand. So do I. But something tugs at the edges of their peace. The wind dies, and far beneath the house, a deeper voice whispers. One they haven't heard yet. You may have beaten a ghost, but the war has just begun. The mansion stands still, frozen in eerie quiet, but underground. Something stirs. A faint hum vibrates through the floorboards. Not mechanical, not natural. It's ancient, alive. Araf, Myra, and her soul twin, the once veiled girl now free from the Watcher's grip, stand together in the nursery, catching their breath. The letter, glowing faintly now, rests on the dresser. Araf speaks first. That voice. It wasn't the Watcher. Mira nods. No, it was something older. The soul twin steps forward. I remember now, she says softly. There was another. One who even the Watcher feared. They turn to her. In our first life, we uncovered something we weren't supposed to, a relic. Araf frowns. What kind of relic? Her voice trembles. One that could bend soul paths. Rewrite fate. It was buried beneath this house. Suddenly, the floor creaks again. This time, not from age, but from something moving below. They follow the source down a narrow servant staircase behind the kitchen, unseen in their earlier. Rush. Sharper. The air thickens as they descend, turning colder. It feels like breathing in old memories. Finally, they reach a stone cellar door, sealed with rusted iron latches. Etched into it is a symbol. 2 serpents eating each other's tails, forming an endless loop. The mark of the soul loop. A forbidden order from centuries past. Araf touches the symbol. It pulses, lit only by the glowing moss that clings to the walls. The door swings open on its own. Inside, an underground chamber, circular, echoing. At the center, a stone pedestal, and atop it, a glass orb swirling with silver mist. Mira approaches. The orb pulses as if recognizing her. She reaches out. Suddenly, a voice roars through the chamber. You dare touch the fate of thousands? The Watcher's scream was terrifying. But this voice is colder, crueler, calm like death. A shadow materializes. Not like the Watcher. This one has no shape. It flows, shifting, wrapping the chamber in darkness. The soul twin gasps. It's him. The origin of whispers. Who? Myra stares at the shadow. The one who wrote the first curse. The shadow laughs. I am not bound by lives. I create them. You think you're heroes? You are tools. He turns to Myra. You were designed to carry the orb. And he looks at Arv to awaken it. But use it. And every timeline you've ever touched collapses. Silence. Araf looks at Mira. They both feel it. the unbearable weight of that choice. Fix their past or doom every version of the present. Suddenly, the orb glows brighter, or enslave them. The choice will always be yours. A projection appears. A younger Myra, from a lifetime even they haven't remembered. She's laughing, running, hiding the orb. A voice echoes in her memory. This can save millions. The projection fades. The orb dims again. And the voice, the ancient force, whispers once more. You think this is your story? No, children. You are pages in mine. Suddenly, the orb shatters. But instead of exploding, it pours light into the chamber. A beam surges upward, through the ceiling, through the mansion, into the sky. Far away, in temples lost to time, others awaken, eyes open, scrolls unravel. They've seen the sign, and they're coming. Arav grabs Myra's hand. Her soul twin steps beside them, and in that moment, they're no longer just survivors. They're catalysts. And the world is about to remember why it once feared light bearers. Above the ruined mansion, the beam of light pierces the clouds like a signal flare. Somewhere far away, deep within ancient Himalayan caves, a monk's eyes snap open after centuries of stillness. He whispers only one word. It has begun. Back beneath the earth, silence falls again. The orb is gone. But its energy lingers in the chamber, pulsing softly beneath their feet. Myra exhales slowly. What did we just unleash? Arav turns toward her, voice low. Not unleash, awaken. Suddenly, the chamber wall behind them shifts. An entrance appears, stone grinding against stone, revealing a hidden corridor. Its walls lined with old carvings and flickering blue flames that light up on their own. The air changes. It doesn't feel like the past anymore. It feels like prophecy. They walk. Their footsteps echo into eternity. Each carving they pass shows versions of them. Different clothes, different lives. Same eyes, same bond. Same fight. Mira pauses. That's me. In Egypt. And there, Arav says, pointing, looks like 1940s Berlin. They weren't just reliving a past life. They'd been connected through dozens of timelines, bound to the same task, protecting the orb, failing, dying, returning, over and over. Finally, they reached the heart of the corridor, a circular stone chamber called the Soul Altar. On it, 3 empty spaces, each shaped like an ancient relic. One glows faintly. One is cracked. One is missing. The soul twin steps forward. This is what the Watcher was guarding. These are the keys of continuum. Arav speaks, realization hitting hard. There are 2 more. The orb was only one. Myra stares ahead, heart racing, which means, and now the world knows we found one. A sudden tremor cuts her off. The walls shake. Dust rains from the ceiling. From the corridor they just walked, a shadow moves. But it's not the Watcher, not the origin. It's something else. A man steps into view. Modern clothes, combat boots, strange silver tattoo on his neck. He's breathing hard, like he's been chasing them through time itself. His eyes settle on Mira. You have no idea what you've done. She stares. Who are you? He smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. I'm the one who buried the other 2 keys. Arav steps forward. Then help us finish this. But the man shakes his head slowly. You don't finish this. You survive it. He steps into the circle. His tattoo glows. Suddenly, their memories return. Not dreams. Not flashes. Real. Burning in one life. He was Mira's brother. In another, Aroff's rival. Another, he died saving them both. But this time, he doesn't look like a savior. He looks like a man on a mission. I watched every version of you fail, he says, and every time, the world paid the price. He points to the altar. You want the next 2 keys? We'll have to go where even the dead don't follow. Behind him, the wall cracks open again. This time, revealing a dark vortex, spinning, alive. Beyond this lies the Echoverse, fractured timelines. Broken versions of us, corrupted by choices we didn't make. If you enter, you might not come back the same. Mira looks at Arav. He nods. We've come too far to stop now. She grips his hand. I don't care which version of us comes out, as long as it's together. The soul twin joins them, eyes steady. They step into the vortex. The man watches silently, and as the light swallows them, he whispers, Gods help them. They're walking into the mirror of fate itself. Silence, then shattering, as if time itself just cracked. Mira Arav and her soul twin tumble into the echoverse, not falling, weaving through memories, timelines, echoes, but unraveling. Their bodies stay whole, but their soul threads scatter. When they awaken, they aren't together. A soft beeping, rain tapping on the glass. They're alone. Each in a version of reality twisted by a single wrong choice from their past life. Mira finds herself in a hospital, dying. White walls. She walks past a nurse and looks into a patient room. She freezes. It's her, lying in the bed, pale. Next to her sits Arav, holding her hand. I wish I never let you go. Sighed but older, broken. He whispers, tears stream down Mira's face. This was the timeline where she left him too soon. Chasing her mission, ignoring love. Elsewhere in the echoverse, he left her behind, bloodied, whispering his name with her last breath. Arav finds himself in a military camp. He's dressed in uniform, war raging in the background. His commanding officer shouts. He runs to a bunker. Mira, outside the echoverse, the mysterious man watches the vortex swirl. This version, he chose duty over her and paid with her life. The soul twin walks through a city made of mirrors. Each reflection shows her a different version of herself. One is a villain. One is a martyr. One who betrayed Mira. One who saved her. Each mirror whispers, you are all of us, but you must choose one. Meanwhile, he's not alone now. 3 cloaked figures appear behind him, the guardians of the third key. One speaks. They've entered the final maze. The man nods. But the echoverse doesn't test strength. It tests guilt. Inside her echo, Mira watches her alternate self die. The real Arav steps beside her, pulled into her echo through the bond. He whispers, this isn't real. She shakes her head. No, it is. This is the version where I gave up on us. I always wondered what it cost. She looks at him, voice trembling. But I never asked what it cost you. Arav gently touches her hand. You gave your life for the mission. But I needed you more than the mission. Suddenly, the echo crumbles around them. The vortex spins, pulling them back together. The soul twin steps in, her choice made. Her mirrors shattered. Their 3 souls sync once more. The chamber brightens. Before them now stands a door made of pure crystal. Etched on it, only the worthy may rewrite fate. Arav turns the handle. It opens. Inside, a starlit void. At the center, the second key, shaped like a golden ring, pulsing with every heartbeat. But next to it, a mirror. Dark, tall, waiting. Mira steps forward. But the voice returns, not the watcher. Not the origin, but the soul mirror itself. Before you take the key, see what happens if you win. The mirror flashes, future appears, millions saved, peace, balance restored. But one detail, Mira is gone. Arav walks alone. Her twin watches from afar. The price of saving the world, it's Mira's soul. Again, she steps back, gasping. Arav holds her. You can't do this again. She looks into his eyes. Tears fall. But maybe this is why I was reborn. She places her palm on the mirror. The mirror fades. The second key glows. They've passed, but behind them, shadows stir. Because now that they hold 2 keys, everyone will come for the third. The second key pulses in Mira's hand. Warm, yet heavy, as if aware of the price paid. Behind her, Arav's eyes haven't left the mirror that showed him a future without her. He turns to her slowly. Are we sure this is still a mission to save the world? Mira's hand trembles. I don't know anymore. But I know it's not just our world we're saving. It's all the versions of us that never got the chance. Suddenly, a glitch in the air. Not a sound, not a tremor. Just reality, skipping like a broken film reel. The soul twin gasps. Standing at the edge of the chamber is bleeding. The man who gave them the path to the echoverse, slumped against the wall, flicker with shame, wounded, breath ragged, his eyes run, gasps, but it's too late. A shadow steps forward behind him, smooth, elegant. With a voice soft as silk, you shouldn't have trusted the origin soul. It's a woman, clad in robes of both light and shadow, shifting constantly. Her presence warps the ground beneath her steps. She isn't from this realm. She isn't from any realm. The soul twin's voice cracks. Who are you? The woman smiles. I am the memory of the mission. You were never meant to finish. She raises a finger. The crystal chamber around them shatters like glass. They fall through space, light, sound, and land in a place that defies description, a realm between realities. Everywhere and nowhere. Here, time screams. Here, every failed version of themselves wanders, soulless, lost. Mira turns in horror. Where are we? The woman steps beside her. This is the place where those who defied destiny come to sleep forever. The realm of broken echoes. Arav raises his fists. What do you want? The woman laughs softly. I don't want anything. I already have what I need. She reaches behind her and lifts a black relic. Shaped like the third key. Their eyes widen. It's not just a key, it's a heart. Mira gasps. That's my soul twins. The soul twin stares in silence, one hand over her chest. Nothing beats inside, just hollow.
Oh.
The woman smiles at her. You were supposed to be the bridge between realms. But your thread unraveled the moment you remembered your mission. Now, I will take the place that was once yours. Suddenly, Mira screams, not in pain. Memory flashes the woman's face, once familiar. From a lifelong buried, not an enemy, not a stranger. You were my sister. The woman's smile fades. For the first time, she looks sad. Yes, and you chose the world over me. She touches the relic, and now I choose everything else over you. Behind her, the third key glows dark, bound in shadow, corrupted. Arav steps forward. If you take that key, you'll destroy the balance. The woman nods. Balance is a lie. Let chaos speak for once. She turns, walks into the veil, and vanishes. Silence. Then the soul twin collapses, the missing soul fragment catching up to her body, draining her fast. Myra holds her. No, stay with me. But it's too late. The twin's eyes flutter. A tear rolls down. You must finish it, even if it means facing her again. Mira sobs. I never meant to leave you behind. The twin smiles faintly. I was never behind. I was always beside you. And then she fades, leaving only silence. And a piece of the second key now split in two. Arav looks up, jaw tight. Mira stands, eyes ablaze with grief and fury. No more hesitation. No more guessing. Just one mission left. We end this. Even if we break doing it. A crack. Not on glass, but on Mira's soul. After her twin fades, a strange silence grows inside her. No voice, no energy, just a space where once a connection lived. Arav stands by her side, hands shaking not from fear, but from guilt. If I had been faster, Mira stops him. It wasn't your fault. She looks down at the broken fragment of the second key. But it will be, if we let her win. Their next step is clear. The woman, Mira's past life sister, now holds the third key. If she reaches the heart vault before they do, it's over. Arav draws a breath. Where do we go? The ground beneath them answers. Pulse. A mirror rising from stone. Not reflective, absorbing, as if it drinks light. And secrets, Mira touches it, and the mirrorverse pulls them in. They don't land. They don't stand. They're just there. In a world where every wall is reflective, but none show the present, only versions of themselves from timelines they never chose, Mira sees herself wearing a crown, worshipped, alone, powerful, hated. She whispers, "What is this?" Arav looks into a mirror, sees himself as a hunter, chasing souls for coins. Cold, brutal, empty. This place isn't showing lies. It's showing temptations. The mirrorverse whispers to them, each in their own voice. You could have ruled. You could have won. You could have taken instead of giving. All you have to do is stop chasing the light. Suddenly, from the mirrored floor, doubles rise. Mira and Arav, but darkened, slick smiles, cold eyes. They don't attack. They seduce. Mira steps toward real Mira. You gave up love for duty. Why not give up duty for revenge? Mirorav circles real Orav. You never got to be the hero, just the one left behind. Why not take the last key and rewrite your ending? Real Mira clenches her fists. You're not me. But the double only laughs. I'm what you buried. I'm the version you pray no one ever sees. Suddenly, the walls ripple, and from behind them, a mirror door appears. Black, locked, and behind it, the third key, its heartbeat, echoing, thump, thump. Mira walks toward it, but the dark double blocks her. You want that door? And take me with you, Arav shouts. Don't listen. But he's pinned by his own dark self, whispering regrets into his ear. Mira breathes hard. Her twin is gone. Her soul is fractured. Her past is back to haunt her. She closes her eyes, and then quietly, if I take you with me, I don't just lose the world. I lose myself. She reaches into her pocket, pulls the split shard of the second key. With one hard move, she slashes it across the mirror double's chest. The double screams, not in pain, but in release. It collapses into shards of light. Gone. Arav, watching, finds the courage. Fights back. Cracks his own shadow in the chest, and it disappears in flame. The door pulses. The lock clicks open. But as they step forward, the chamber changes. The real Miratal, black waiting, shows not a key, but an altar on it. A memory fragment. A glowing orb. Mira touches it, and suddenly she's back in her old life. Her sister, the woman who betrayed them, stands across from her, crying, begging, choose me. Mira had walked away then. For the mission now, she remembers the guilt. The final moment that turned her sister dark. The memory fades. Mira stands still, quiet, and says, maybe this was never about keys, maybe. This was about fixing the part of me that broke her. She takes the orb. A beam shoots into her chest. Her soul twin's lost echo returns. Not as a person, but as strength. Myra's glow returns. Her voice steadier. Her presence larger. Arav nods, understanding. We're getting close. But then, the walls of the mirror-verse begin to shudder. From all around, figures rise. Hundreds, thousands, all lost souls, all failed versions. They whisper in one voice. The heart vault has been opened. And it wasn't you. The mirror-verse crumbles. Not from violence, but from a shift in fate. The air tastes like smoke and thunder. Myra and Arav stand surrounded by echoes, failed versions of themselves, whispering like dying stars. She opened the vault. The third key has awakened something ancient. They run. Reality bends around them. The path to the heart vault was once hidden behind soul contracts and karmic doors. Now it reveals itself. A bridge of floating memories, each one a choice they could have made. At the vault gates, they stop. Black stone, breathing alive. Above them, celestial markings glow. 3 soul paths intertwine, but only to stand before it. Myra whispers she's already inside. Arav pulls the 2 broken key shards from his pocket. They glow, faintly. He places them into the gate. Nothing. Myra steps forward, takes a deep breath, and places her bare hand on the vault door. I carry the 3rd soul. She turns to Arav. She gave it to me. When she died, the echo of her twin lives inside her now. The Trinity is whole. The gate opens. Yet, what a sound, but with a memory. They step inside the vault. A vast hall of suspended timelines. 8 the center. A pedestal. Above it floats the eternal thread, the one that binds all souls to their purpose. And standing before it, her Mira's sister, draped in black and silver, tears down her cheeks, hands glowing with power not meant for one being alone. She turns. Mira, I never wanted this, but you left me no choice. Arav steps forward. You're about to tear apart the Echoverse. Sister nods. No, but maybe that's what it takes, to create a world where love doesn't lose. Mira's voice breaks. You think this is love? Her sister shouts. It's more than love. It's justice for every soul that died with hope in its chest. She raises her hands. The thread begins to unravel. Time collapses. Realms twist. All versions of them begin merging into one final timeline. Unstable, dangerous. Mira steps closer. Hush. And instead of fighting, she kneels. I'm sorry. I should have chosen you. I should have seen your pain. I should have stayed. The vault trembles. Her sister pauses. Her power flickers. The chaos halts. Rav holds his breath. And Mira whispers, if you still want to burn the world, then do it. But know this. I'll still love you. Even if there's nothing left. Silence. Then the sister screams. But not in rage. In heartbreak. Her body cracks. Not breaking. Releasing. The final memory floats out. 2 little girls, holding hands under a silver tree. Laughing together, whole. She collapses, gone, but healed at last. The thread floats down, untouched. Whole Mira steps back. The vault closes. The timelines rest. But something still feels wrong. Later that night, as Mira and Arv leave the realm, a crack appears in the stars, faint but growing from within it. Shadow watches, with eyes that were never human, and a voice whispers, "One story ends. But your soul still owes me a debt."